Geek Yarn. Okay, what are we talking about? What's our yarn this week? If you don't know what a yarn is, it's not, yes, it is a long bit of wool or string or whatever else. It's a long bit of thread or a long thread or a long story or a kind of an interesting story. A story told kind of colourfully. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about geek stuff and we're going to try and add a bit of colour to it. We're going to be looking at some hardware too, talking about what other people are reviewing. Let's see if we agree with some of the shit that's going on in the industry at the moment. I don't always agree with everything that's happening in the IT industry. Probably the first thing I noticed today is let's have a look here, the MSI X58 Platinum motherboard on Hard OCP. These guys are pretty sweet the way they do their reviews. If you haven't been to Hard OCP before, definitely make your way over there. They're really down to earth. They know what they're talking about. The guys have been doing it for years. They look at a product like this X58 Platinum, and it's good. No, they say it's a good mix of features and performance. I'm not going to tell you everything about this board, but what I will tell you is the X58 is a type of chipset from Intel, right? So it supports new i7 CPU. Now, i7 is not a speed grade, it's a model number of a CPU. So it's Intel's latest prime or flagship CPU, the i7. Comes in a multiple different variety of speed grades. The whole PR rating, the whole Intel PR rating comes on their CPUs is confusing to even me. And I've been working in this industry for 14 years. I don't get where they get some of those numbers from. But what I can tell you, if you get yourself an i7 system, most of the CPU is going to do most of the things you want. They're a lot faster in video editing over your Core 2s and stuff like that, a lot faster in gaming, a lot of other applications as well. So if you're looking for a new system, get yourself an i7 system if you want performance. And if you want really small, the Atom stuff's pretty cool as well. I'm becoming a bit of a fan of the micro PCs. I've had a lot to do with them over the last few years with one of the companies I was working for. And one of the coolest things I did get to see at CES in Las Vegas earlier on this year was their little Intel Midis. So you got your mini notes, right, which are like 13-inch type notebooks. They're kind of little tiny light notebooks you throw in your backpack, really easy to use, full-size keyboards. But Intel are coming out with basically PDA type devices that run full x86 processor stuff, so full operating systems like Windows XP and whatever else, about double the size of an iPhone. Speaking of the iPhone, what I'll do in some of my vlogs here is talk about some of the applications and that which we get on iPhones and some of the other cool tools that are coming around. So we're not going to just talk about hardware or motherboards or CPUs. We'll talk about other gadgets and all sorts of crap that we get in here in the labs. We get lots of stuff sent to us all the time. One of the first things I'm going to be looking at, I'll probably do that tomorrow actually, is I'm going to pull out the Silverstone Raven case. It's a monster case. It's for extreme people. So if you're not an extreme PC user, if you're not into building your own PCs, this might not be the product for you. But if you are, if you like the kind of wow factor with your PC case, this is something you're going to definitely want to check out. We'll have a whole video review on this product and also a written review as well up in the next couple of days. So yeah, Hard OCP are looking at the X58. They've also looked at gameplay in Fear 2. They do like an apples for apples type comparison in their gameplay stuff. They'll look at a variety of different video cards and graphic settings and show you what type of graphic settings you can get out of each video card. Again, really cool the way they do their stuff here. What else have we got here? Speaking of that Raven case, the guys over at Hardware Secrets have got an article up on the RV01 case. I'm not going to read their review. I don't like getting influenced by other people's reviews. I like to make up my own opinion on a product, so I won't actually read anybody else's review on a product before I look at it myself. Sometimes you kind of get a little bit behind with that type of stuff because you're not reading other people's reviews. You like to make your own opinion, especially when it comes to motherboards and stuff like that. If they get them earlier than you and whatever else, you could be behind the news. But it's a really tough industry to be in this industry. Basically, especially with stuff like with cases, motherboards, CPUs, and even notebooks, you get sent stuff all the time, and you don't want to upset these people. So what do? I've got motherboards here before where I've spent like 4 or 5 weeks benchmarking and come across all sorts of problems, sent it back 2 or 3 times, and delayed articles by like 3 months. And what do? Do you publish it and say how shite the board was? Do you say that their service was so incompetent that you couldn't do anything with the product, and the board is sitting in the box in the cupboard now, and even though it's a $200-300 motherboard, you haven't got the need for it because it's so shite, it doesn't work? Do you tell people how bad this product is, or do you put it in a box and never mention it on your blog? I mean, I'm going to try. I used to do that, I used to put it in a box and whatever else. We're running a type of corporate website there, and and you didn't want to upset people. You didn't, you really didn't want to upset people because you want them to send stuff. So I'd prefer to buy my own shit and test it out myself. And yes, some people are going to send me stuff, but I'm going to try and be as honest with you guys as possible, both on when it comes to being a great product and also being a totally crap product. Another thing you to look at is service, right? When you're getting a product, you've got to look at type of service. So you can have the best product in the world. If there's no service for where you are, forget it. And because I might get great service where I am, or somebody in the US might get great service where they are, doesn't mean you're going to get great service. It's something else you might want to check out as well. Always look at service when you're looking at products. So what's going on in the iPhone world at the moment? Let's have a look here. Application store wise, I've been trying to use my iPhone in some of my extra strenuous activities. I do a lot of bike riding, right? And I'm training up for a little event where I ride 500 kilometers over 4 or 5 days. And at first I wanted to use some of the applications like Trails and whatever else. I've done lots of articles on applications before. I wanted to use them on my iPhone, not only while I was training, but why I do the actual trip. What I've learned very quickly is the maximum battery life you're going to get out of this thing when using any of the GPS mapping tools, which like tracks your speed and where you're going, all that type of stuff. You can then upload it online. It's really cool and all, but you can only do it for like 2 hours before your phone's flat. And I want my phone for a phone as well. So I suppose I can get another phone and use this for a GPS, but then I might as well just buy a GPS, right? Yes, I mean, all those tools, there's like 4 or 5 different applications I downloaded to try them all out, and they're all the same. They just chew through the battery, and then you can't even use it as an MP3 player, or you can, but you have to switch it off to check out your map stuff, or if you want to skip a song, you got to switch off the map stuff to get to your iTunes stuff, and it's just really stupid. So I end up getting one of those little computers for my bike. It just basically works on wheel rotation, and it's like 1-to-1 with the map scaling as far as my speed, distance traveled, all that type of stuff. I never have to worry about battery stuff. So apart from the map, and I could do that later, I can get back on my laptop. I know where I've ridden. I know what roads I went down. I can put it on on the map and move the little line here. Especially Google Maps is just brilliant. I'm not too sure if you've ever used it, for looking at planning out maps and trips and whatever else, but for like the type of bike rides I do, you can even see street level photos of most of the areas I ride around in. So I can map that all out and put it online and show people what I'm doing. I've got all the information for my little trip computer on my bike, which is $60 compared to the price of an iPhone. Don't have to worry about the batteries on my iPhone. Now the beauty of it is when I'm doing my rides, if I need to work out where I'm going, I have no problem pulling my iPhone out, bringing up maps and working out where I need to go. But to use it as a GPS on the fly, as a trip computer while you're riding, unless you're riding for half an hour, which isn't really exercise. I mean, I suppose it is, but you're not going to really get too much use out of it if you're doing any type of extreme exercise or physical activity, hiking or whatever else. You can't use it for that type of stuff. They're all pretty much so crap. The best thing I found for the iPhone is the blogging tools, the email, some of the other applications, some of the games are cool, but again, it's a businessman tool, right? So it's not designed for any type of lengthy use for gaming or whatever else. So yeah, we'll try and keep up with some of the stuff that's happening on the iPhone. Again, as I said, my biggest issue with this baby, I love it for most things, but its battery life sucks. A lot of the tools that you get on it, you really can't use for the activities that you would like to use them for. Hey, look, I got an update there. I'm not going to do that now. I'll do that later. So what else we got here? Extreme Tech gaming headsets on Extreme Tech. Guys over Extreme Tech are pretty extreme. So, I mean, I've had lunch and that with these guys over the years, and these guys are full on. If you're a real geek and you want to get into the down and nitty gritty of hardware, this is where you need to go. I mean, these guys go way overboard. We'll talk about a couple of different websites and how they review stuff and that as well in this vlog. So anyway, that's my yarn for today. So that's all I'm going to say to you guys. And if you want to hear what's going on with the Raven case, check back really soon.